Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a new Gardevoir. Yeah, that's right. There is a new Gardevoir that has just leaked, been revealed, call it what you will. And I know it's a stage 2, but you know what? Gardevoir is often good, and I'm looking at this now, and Gardevoir, it's pretty gosh darn good, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty gosh darn good. The one translation does come from the lovely Antoine Boulet, which at this stage you probably knew about me telling you. And if we start off with the basics, we don't actually know how much HP it's got, because the image of it that we have has got the HP missed off. Having said that, we can look at recent Gardevoir cards, and we can go, you know what? Although it's been a couple of minutes since we had a Stage 2 Gardevoir, we can probably say it's coming in at the lower end. Because the one that we got in Lost Thunder had 130 HP, and the last one we actually had before that, because Gardevoir often comes out as special cards, the last one before Lost Thunder was actually from Ancient Origins that also had 130 HP. So it's going to be on the lower end of Stage 2s, which is a little bit sad, but there we go. We do get a lot of special Gardevoir cards and not that many actual Stage 2 Gardevoir. We've got a retreat cost of 2, which does mean free retreat with Air Balloon, which is always a nice handy bonus. We've got ourselves a weakness to Metal, which honestly is fine. Because really the only Metal Pokemon that are going to be seeing play around this time are Zacian and Zamazenta, but then again, Zamazenta is a lot worse than it used to be, and hits 130 anyway, which is likely to be your HP, so you know what? We are absolutely cool with it. And being a Psychic type does mean you're hitting weakness against those Pokemon like Urshifu, for instance, which is starting to look like it might be very, very relevant moving forward. So, yeah, that's not too bad, ladies and gentlemen. But what does it do? Well, we've got the ability Arcana Light. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Put the other cards into your hand. Oh, wait a second. That is ridiculous. It is Zacian's ability, but it is both better and worse. The worst thing is you're only looking at the top 2 cards of your deck, not the top 3. But the better is it is any basic energy to any of your Pokemon, however you like. So Zacian was just metal energy and only to the Zacian that use the ability. This is any energy to any Pokemon. Bearing in mind, this doesn't end your turn. And the fact that it doesn't end your turn is huge, because if it doesn't end your turn, it means you can stack it. You can get 2 Gardevoir out and be drawing 4 cards a turn. 3 Gardevoir and get 6. You could potentially get 4 Gardevoir out and be drawing 8 cards per turn. Bearing in mind you're not just drawing the cards, because any energy you reveal does get attached to your Pokemon in any way that you like, and this is absolutely over the top phenomenal in terms of the ability. Put simply, this ability had to be on a Stage 2. If this ability was on a basic Pokemon or a Stage 1 Pokemon, it would be far, far too good. Way too good. And it just wouldn't work, alright? It just wouldn't do any good, because it would just become the only viable card. I mean, we've seen how good Zacian is as a basic, and that ends your turn and can't be stacked. Imagine if this was a basic and could stack. It would be dumb, ladies and gentlemen. It would be dumb. But even as a Stage 2, I want to stress this. This is a phenomenal ability. Because one of the things you worry about with Stage 2s is that it slows down your progress, it slows down your setup. You spend all that time getting Stage 2s rolling, and it means you're not getting everything else going, and it's hard to get your Stage 2s, etc. However, here, because you're drawing cards and accelerating energy, it really does work a lot better. And both parts of the ability are so good. If all Gardevoir does is sit there and draw 2 cards during your turn, that's amazing. because we've seen how good Zacian can be. We've seen how good things like Oranguru were, drawing until you had 3 cards in your hand. Well, here, you're drawing 2, but you can have multiples. And it really is that good. And we've got a really nice ability in terms of accelerating energy. It's kind of like Ether, but you've got 2 chances rather than 1. And bearing in mind, we've still got the Oranguru from Sword and Shield in the format at the moment. So what you can do here is just put an energy on top of your deck from your hand using Oranguru to guarantee that you will hit at least 1 energy here. And then the second card will either be an energy to attach, or you can just go ahead and draw it. Either way, it sounds pretty good to me. We've also just had a reprint of Energy Recycler, and this is actually genuinely quite big if you're going for energy rather than draw, because Energy Recycler puts 5 basic energy back into your deck. So you get into the late game, you play Energy Recycler, your deck is stacked with energy, and then when you use Gardevoir's ability, you get to go and attach that energy, which again sounds pretty good to me. Yes, I know that it's a stage 2, but if you're drawing 2 cards and or accelerating energy, and it's an ability that stacks and doesn't end your turn, this has got to be one we're going to be playing around with. As for the attack, there's pretty good synergy with the ability here. What we've got is 3 colorless energy Brainwave, 60 damage base, plus 30 more for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you get 3 psychic energy on there, you're going to default to 150, and that's before you've even got going. 4 psychic energy means you're hitting 180, which means you are getting a KO on a Crobat and those other weaker support Pokemon, but it also means a 1-hit KO on an Urshifu VMAX. So 4 energy and you're getting genuinely legitimate KOs on widely played multiple prized Pokemon. And you can go nuts here. Now, I'm not suggesting you should, but 9 energy is 270, add the 60 base is 330. You will still need a Vitality Band to get Eternatus, but other than that, you're getting everything, except for things that resist and are blocking you, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. So basically, this is just huge. And would this be a good time to mention the rather obvious synergy with Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX? Because you see, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX has an ability which attaches a psychic energy to one of your bench Pokemon and draws 2 cards. So both these Pokemon have abilities that draw cards / attach energy, so you can be piling psychic energy on and drawing a bunch of cards, etc. And the attack on Shadow Rider Calyrex does 10 damage base plus 30 more for each psychic energy attached to any of your Pokemon in play. So again, essentially, you can just play Gardevoir and Shadow Rider Calyrex, and all of your Pokemon are going to have a draw engine, and all of your Pokemon are going to be accelerating energy, and all of your Pokemon are going to be doing more damage depending on how much energy is attached to Pokemon in play. Calyrex is to any of your Pokemon. Gardevoir, remember, is only to itself. But the synergy here is beautiful and absolutely writes itself. I adore this. And the thing is that if you play it with Shadow Rider Calyrex, like you probably should, then time you start getting Shadow Rider Calyrex and you start getting Gardevoir and all of that, it is not going to be hard to start streaming Stage 2s. Yes, I know Stage 2s are difficult to get into play, but when every Pokemon you've currently got in play, other than the Pokemon you're trying to evolve, is drawing you cards, that is going to make it an awful lot easier to evolve those Pokemon you want to evolve. Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX should be good enough on its own, frankly. Now you're adding in another way to accelerate energy and boost up your attack, another way to draw cards, and giving a single prize attacker to cover for the fact that Shadow Rider Calyrex gives up 3 prizes. I'm giving this 5 wussies. I think this is about the most exciting Stage 2 we've seen in a pretty gosh darned long time. This is one of those very rare Stage 2s where I look at it and I go, you know what, it's going to work. Because I have often said, if you're going to be playing Stage 2s, especially multiple, you really need some kind of draw engine. It's the reason why nobody batted an eyelid when they played Magnezone, the Prime, a while back because it had a built-in draw engine, so even though it was a stage 2, it wasn't a problem. It's the reason why some decks did actually start playing Swampert, because Swampert let you discard a card from your hand and draw 3 cards. Now, admittedly, that was quite a rogue deck. It was not necessarily played everywhere, but having said that, Gardevoir's got a better attack and a better partner and accelerates energy. So I really do think this Gardevoir's got a huge chance to be genuinely awesome. And I've only been talking in this video really about Gardevoir as a psychic Pokemon, but remember, this could just be a draw engine in any deck where you sit there drawing 2 cards or attaching any basic energy you find, and it can be any basic energy. This really does look like it is a high-level card. But I want to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.